Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kayla. I'm sitting on my bed and I didn't make it, so deal with it because this is my life and you chose to come here. This year, instead of doing a 5-star predictions for the future, I'm doing something a little different because if you go back to last year's 5-star prediction video and then you look at my Goodreads, you'll know that I only read 1, maybe 2 that were on that list. So it was a complete fail. I failed it and I will get to them. So instead of making another list that I will probably fail again at, we're just gonna do a little recap. And instead of doing like reacting to my 5-star predictions, did I get it right? We're gonna do 2021 Unpredicted 5 stars. Now, these are books that I read that I gave 5 stars and they shocked me. And it's not that I didn't think I would give them 5 stars. It's just that they weren't on my radar and then they became on my radar and then I gave them 5 stars. That's a whole thing. These are books that I unpredictedly gave 5 stars. So I went through, I gave pretty much a good amount of my books 5 stars last year. And I read so many, so I was going to my Goodreads and I was looking at ones that not necessarily everyone would give 5 stars. So there are some books that you just look at and you're like, everybody's gonna give that 5 stars. Everybody's gonna love that book. And I picked the ones that were a little out there that I don't think either a lot of people have heard of, a lot of people have read, or a lot of people have given 5 stars. So here's my list. Let's get going. These are in no particular order. These are just how I saw them and how I wrote them down. So the first one, I've got it right here. This is my little notebook. Look at it. It's got some mushrooms on it. And then it's got this cute sticker of Selena because I love Selena. So I had to buy the sticker. Okay, on my little cute little notebook. So the first I have is Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. Now, I know everybody, not everybody, a lot of people are Tessa Bailey stans. I get it. But this was my first Tessa Bailey book and I was hesitant. But this has so far been my favorite Tessa Bailey book and I loved it. The other 2 in the series were good, but this one was the best one. I'm sorry, I don't remember their names, but I know that the main girl was a clown for birthday parties and the main dude was like her high school crush, brother's best friend bullshit. So good. The next one is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. This book is freaking weird. It's very short, so I highly recommend it. Not necessarily to everybody. Go in, look at the trigger warnings, look at content warnings before you go in. But if you're okay with the content warnings, I think everybody should read this book. So it shocked me because it was so disturbing, but in like a good way. And I highly recommend this book and I cannot speak highly enough to how crazy this is. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, this is sapphic, but it's nasty. Not in like a sexy way. It's nasty in like a true crime book way. Like it's gross. And I loved it. Number 3 is The Headmaster by Tiffany Rhys. I'm gonna out myself right here. This author, I read a lot of her books in high school. She is known for being a spicy book author. And the content in which the books were about that I read in high school, I promise I'm a great child. I promise I'm a pure child. But, so this one's no different in like spice category. This is a very short book. I think it was 200 pages, like max. But this is basically about a lady who she's a teacher. And so she finds this job at a all boys boarding school in like the middle of nowhere. I don't even think she finds the job. her car breaks down and she ends up there. And then she's like, oh, well, whatever. Like, I was going somewhere else to be a teacher. Like, I'll just be a teacher here. Cool. And so she like befriends all the kids and she befriends the headmaster, and it's a great old time. And then there's a big old twist at the end that literally my Goodreads review was, oh my God. Like, that was it. Because I was gooped, I was gagged, and I was obsessed. So also highly recommend that one. The fourth one is Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. Now this, I actually didn't know anything about until I saw that it had been a previous Jenna Bush Hager Read with Jenna book club pick. And so that's why I picked it up. This is basically about, so dual perspective. We have in the past, I don't remember her name. I'm so bad with names. But it's this lady who was the, like, Amelia Earhart was number 1. She was number 2 on, like, female pilots. Make sense? So it starts out with her life in Missoula, Montana, how she got to Missoula, Montana as a child, and her brother, and kind of them growing up, her wanting to be a pilot, everything about that. And then as an adult, she, like, circumnavigates the world in her plane. And same as Amelia Earhart, like, no, it's not a spoiler. She goes missing. So that's one perspective. The second perspective is an actress in the future who is actually playing that lady in a biopic. Now, this book is really long, and this book took me a long time to read, but I loved it. I give it 5 stars. I was very obsessed with all the characters, and it's not something I think I will ever reread, but it's definitely something I will think about a lot. And 100% it's historical fiction, but I also think it is also categorized as literary. So if you are into, like, literary fiction, I definitely highly recommend that for you. But it was so good. And it was in one of the categories for the 2021 Goodreads Choice Awards. And I definitely voted for it. Like, I 100% voted for it. But I think that book didn't get very many votes. It definitely didn't win. But I was like, I don't care what else is on this list. I'm voting for that one. The last one that I gave 5 stars, that was slightly unexpected, was Rodham by Curtis Sittenfeld. Now, you're looking at the cover right here, and you're thinking, Kayla, that's a picture of Hillary Clinton, and her maiden name is Rodham. Is this just a Hillary Clinton biography? No, this is a fictional book. And it's fictional because, yes, it's Hillary Clinton's life. It's Hillary Rodham Clinton's life. But it is fictional because this story is about what would happen if she did not marry Bill Clinton. And a lot of this stuff is probably not factual prior to the point where she does not marry Bill. Like, how she feels about Bill and the stuff that's said about Bill, it's probably not accurate, which is fine. And then everything after the point where she would have married Bill is definitely not accurate. But I loved it. I don't think I've read very many alternate history, alternate timeline books in this vein, but I really enjoyed it. I listened to it, and I think it's a big book, but it was so quick to read because it slightly made me think I was listening to a biography or like an autobiography at the same time. But then I was like, she would say something and I'm like, I wouldn't have put that in a biography. Or she would say something and be like, wait, but didn't her and Bill go to this place? Like, something that I knew happened, and they're talking about it as if it didn't happen, or like Bill wasn't there. And I'm like, it like plays with your brain because you know so much about these people, and then they end up not together, and you're like, but where's Bill? So that blew my mind. So that was definitely 5 stars. But those are the 5 2021 Unpredicted 5 stars. And yeah, if you've read any of these, let me know if you gave them 5 stars, because sometimes I give books 5 stars when they just like blow my mind, and I don't know if they deserve them, but they deserve them for me. So let me know if you gave any of these books 5 stars. Let me know if any of these books sound interesting. I know I didn't explain a few of them, but the ones that I did explain, you can tell that I like remember them really well. But let me know if you want to read any of these. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you just, let me know what's going on. Like, if you don't care, like, just what's going on. But that's all I have. So I'm gonna go. Please like, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.